fight. I mean, how much is Radiance? 30. And he should be able to outfarm the Wraith King. Not that easily. Wraith King does farm a bit faster now since they buffed the skeletons. That's it's more natural sustain and crit, in the lane and in the jungle. But I think like maybe this game you can afford to try and put a little bit more tower pressure here. Along with your Jakiro, you can slow siege pretty nicely with the Underlord. I think he's one of the best heroes to really do it in the game. And
yeah, I agree. I think that there's a lot of strength to the Wraith King when it comes to the farming and pushing in the early game. He can actually create pressure as a hero, despite not seeing very often, right? On a Wraith King, you can actually try to play the early game a bit more aggressively, which I think would be the best way to take advantage of the Beastmaster as well. And if you were to reduce the map control for a Hustler, your superior... even with a superior team fight, because you have really good counter initiation on the Willow and the Puck, I think you can kind of make it work. Yeah. But you need to be able to take map control early, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. And luckily, Winstrike, they've set themselves up for that really nicely here, basically just with the Beastmaster alone. Like you're saying, the Wraith King can be utilized in this role as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit of a risky strategy, though.
That people didn't really know how to... Like, it wasn't like he was hard to play, just nobody was interested in trying him, because he was such a very simplistic design. And then in Dota 2, they really fleshed him out a lot. Obviously, as Dota 1 went on, he also became much more complex. And they took out the stupid corpse flow.
Yep. I remember the 10v10 All-Star game when they revealed him. I think No-Tail played him, as I recall correctly.
Yeah, with the aura. Yeah.
With the aura, in a 10v10, it was completely busted. It was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
Very funny.
So yeah, the Underlord right now I think is really good in the meta because he counters a fair amount of the meta game. Particularly Wraith King is a hero he counters a lot.
Yeah, and this is a point I've been bringing up, especially if you've been listening here for the past couple of days. You'll know that I've been complaining about the lack of a map change, right? And because there's normally a ton of mobile heroes. This trap's not that mobile though, right? I mean, Puck is of course blocking extremely well. For Winstrike, yeah.
And I guess for both, right? One drop has Monkey King and Underlord, so I guess you could say that. Well,
yeah.
But the Puck, I agree, is the only mobile hero. I mean, you have global presence with the AA, so it's not mobile, but there's something to be said about that.
That's a fair point, but I'm always thinking about, you know, if Winstrike do want to try and bring the Thunder here to Hustlers, Hustlers can just set up on the high ground, they can drop a good Pit of Malice, and they should go there and be able to set up for forever, I want to say.
It's also kind of scary how good Hustler has, how good zone that Hustler has. You have the Underlord, obviously, with the Pit of Malice. You have the Macro Fire from which you can Underlord, he might die in the top lane. Yeah, first blood from dyrachyo, taking the kill with his Wraith Fire Blast, transitional 10. But at bottom lane, trying to do the same thing with yamich, lightless, doesn't want to go any further. The boards,
dude.
It's level 3 Beastmaster. But yeah, you have Macro Fire, Wukong's Command, and the Pit of Malice, all great zone out spells, making it really difficult for Wraith King to properly initiate the fights. This might need to be a Wraith King that rushes the, or not rushes, but gets an early-ish BKB and even a blink down.
I was thinking that as well. I think they could really use a blink here. Otherwise, I just don't know how you can push high ground ultimately if it comes to that, right? I mean, other than that, you're just hoping that you can throw a good Dream Coil in and an Ice Blast to follow up and just kind of hope that the backlines collapse from there. chshrct getting ran down. There's no boars down. I think he unfortunately made a little bit of a mistake there. Yamich is maybe going to stay alive here thanks to Shadow Realm. Sure where boars went.
Not sure. I mean, the Monkey King was just using, I think, the Jingle Master to kill him, and so he just ate it out and killed him easily. But Funnick in the top lane dies a second time.
Yeah, that's costly. He's gonna have to walk back now, the big old walk of shame, and he doesn't walk very fast now.
No, this lane shouldn't be that difficult for him. I think Rubick is just not doing enough to mitigate the damage.
They have a ton of magic damage, though.
Yeah, but the fact that Rubick is full HP, or was full HP, right? I mean, now he's out. But like, when you saw the kill, the fact that Rubick is not lost that much because he's playing a bit defensively, I get it, KingR doesn't want to die. He's a great Rubick, but it also shows that he's just not putting the full effort trying to save the Underlord, or alternatively, it's showing that the Underlord is playing a bit too aggressively, and they're punishing him. I don't think Underlord is like a free lane here, but I think he should just be pushing with Firestorm, ignoring the Wraith King, and not getting too close.
It's not that bad of a combo here. The AA level 2 Cold Feet, dropping the Ice Vortex, the slow into the Wraith Fire Blast without any boots, you know, I mean, it's just a lot of damage. I think Funnick is...
Maybe you should have considered boots before bottle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
like,
as well.
At least if you're playing this forward, right? Because if you go bottle, the idea is Firestorm the wave, go like stack camps or whatever. Don't show the Wraith. Of course, it's a very passive way to play, which Funnick does not like, but... I think this might be the best. Like, it's interesting to see that his build doesn't go with what he's doing, because he knows what he should be doing, unable to actually execute it. Play styles, but unlucky for the there, but he has the bottles. He's about to get the.
He's close. Yeah, just needs another last here. I think these are 5 actually. So yeah,
he just got it.
Going to be completed, already on the way. That's pretty strong against the Puck, but Puck's going to preempt this now and actually look to rotate down bottom, where they could pretty easily set up for a kill onto the Jakiro, maybe even the Monkey King here, now that we do have the Dream Coil leveled. We'll take a look here. They are pinging the Monkey. They want to go for him. Nofear trying to create a bit of a buffer space, looking to TP out. Take me instead, he says, and they will, as they cancel his TP. Clean him off top lane. KingR in a bit of trouble, as there's the cold feet combo. Wraith Fire Blast onto him. That'll make very, very quick work of the Rubick.
That's what we said at the beginning, right? The early game is certainly beneficial to win stronger lanes in general, and they have really good single target potential. The problem comes if this game goes a bit too late and they can't time, or the Wraith King goes for a very... Wraith King with these kills, he could even consider going for like the armlet build.
Yeah, armlet, blink, something like that,
yeah.
Right in your face. Yeah.
That would work here, honestly, especially because you can go for an early BKB there, much earlier than Radiance. Even if you want to go for like a farming item in this game, you could opt for like Maelstrom, something cheaper than Radiance, to just play this faster. This game is certainly not, as some people are putting on the chat, this game is not impossible by any means for winning. It's actually kind of 50-50.
No, yeah.
It's just harder for them to execute.
Yeah, I mean, with this start, I'd call it 50-50. I think, you know, at the horn, I wouldn't have given that one to them. I would have maybe been a little bit more 70-30 here for the Hustlers, but
it's hard to say when a draft is, when you see a draft being kind of hard at what they're trying to accomplish. We always traditionally side with these, right? Yep. That doesn't mean that the draft is bad. It just means that the team has to play extra well to be able to.
Yeah. If a team plays this draft 1,000 times, how many times are they going to win it? I'm going to choose the draft that they're going to win more times. As not winning in the top lane is Pantomem, as he's sent right. He's yeeted right back into the pit of malice, easily setting up for the kill.
Yep. That's a good kill. Nice play on Ancient Apparition. Little dive. Wraith King's already pushed out of his lane, which is great. But Wraith King, look, he's actually playing a bit more aggressively. Skeletons, he sends them to the mid lane. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but they're pushing.
Could be. I mean, it was a big wave here, so.
Yeah, it was good. Magical doesn't have any good skeleton clear. Bottom lane, they go over the Pog. He's going to catch lightless. And he is going to go down at this rate. Easy for them. Nofear also falls. And Rabel has been doing so much work this game.
Yeah, it's a great puck game here as well for the early game, because they do have really nice combos into it. OD is looking to really just start demolishing this tier 1 tower. I think that's where Magical's going to have to start applying some map control. We should already have Necro Book. Yep, it's on the way now to chshrct. Be looking to take this tower.
They're Bonic? No, he actually does have the Dark Whip just in time.
Wow, that's not easy to do either. I think it was what, like 4 seconds? 6 seconds.
4 seconds max level. Wow.
Yeah, it's basically
clearly not an Underlord player here.
No, it's teleporting to an outpost. Is how long that takes you.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Oh, actually, they might be able at least once. Your Hammer does a lot of damage. You're running away, which means Reincarnation does get us slow, but if you're too far away, bottom lane also kills chshrct. I like what Hustler is doing. They understand that definitely it's not OD who can rotate, because he's much more static. It's just OD. He's kind of a static hero. So instead, OD is trying to push and put pressure in the middle tower, which is great. While you have the Underlord actually rotating and getting kills now. Very important, and that relieves some of map pressure. Winstrike.
Yeah, it does, especially because you kill the Beastmaster immediately after he uses his first Necro Books on it. Oh yeah, a little bit more attack range, please, Ice Frog.
Yeah.
What is it now, like 400, 450? Is 350.
I mean, it's more than TA.
Well, TA's base, I think, is like 70 or something.
Yeah. Didn't they increase it, though, with one of the patches to make it like 170, I think?
No, I'm pretty sure. Maybe? I always thought it was like the worst in the game, and then obviously...
It was, but I think Ice Frog patched it because it was like, okay, it's like, why is TA worse than Bandit Heroes? I think that's Dream Coil. He has the Astral, doesn't want to use it.
Ice Blast
The Ice Blast coming, the Magical avoided. Nope, not with that. Fading Rift. I think he's going to die to potential damage. They will find that.
Oh, he can Astral himself.
He didn't Astral himself. Instead, Rabel will fall for Magical. Not too bad of a counter initiation here by Hustler, but I think I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he had time to ask for himself.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either. Maybe it just came off of cooldown. I'm not too sure. Considering he did use it early in the fight to try and initiate there, there's a good chance. As we did see, the Willow actually was a victim of the Astral Imprisonment and the Ice Path combo. So they get the tier 1 tower. They get the mid laner for mid laner.
Midas on range. Okay. If his Midas range. Oh. I don't know if I love this build, honestly.
So this is kind of the opposite, actually, of what you were talking about in terms of, oh, maybe he can pick up like the armlet, consider the blink dagger, and look to play it fast. He's looking to do the exact opposite here.
As slow as possible, which might, like, I don't know if they have a lot of confidence for this mid game. I don't know. I see this mid game quite stronger for Hustler. Now they're taking a tower up top. Hustler's also doing a really good job. Oh, that was a bit. I could have taken the tower and gone. Mid leaves the Jakiro and the there.
Yeah, there's a smoke gang coming here too.
Oh, but the smoke's gonna get blocked by the Monkey King. Oh,
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Oh, they didn't realize Monkey King was in a tree. He's actually farming. Ravel did see them. Beat in time.
Nice.
4-6 does. Envision a Monkey King with a Dream Coil. They should guarantee the skill. He does end up blocking the smoke. They take a tier 1 tower top, so it's not bad. And they're taking mid as well, so now they have a lot more map control. But losing your carry is always awful.
Yeah, especially because he's going for the Aghanim Scepter build here as well for the Monkey King, which is a little bit slower, right? He would have already had, let's see, he's got 2 components. No, just 1 component actually already of the Ag.
Yeah,
it's still early on. It's 12 minutes. 12 minutes.
You're right, but you should have Maelstrom by now with the lane that he had. It wasn't too difficult, but he died a couple times thanks to Puck mainly. Lightless is fault as much as it's just Rabel play. But the Aghanim's build is better for map pressure and for fights, so I kind of like this game. I don't know if you Maelstrom. They don't know, or they didn't know the Wraith King was gonna go for Radiance.
Yeah.
So they were playing it for the worst case scenario, which is enemy quickly. I think you can afford to go for the Ag. A bit more impactful would make.
They're even to smoke up, look to find chshrct, pretty much an easy and free lift into Meteor Hammer combo. Diving it, in comes the Ice Blast. We have a Roar at the ready. It looked like he was going to try and use it, but no one else really was going to be there to follow up, so they just able to walk away.
The Beasts, with the Ice Blast, if you hit the Roar, I think the Beast.
Damage, maybe who was...
Well, but also consider the stun, right? So he couldn't, like, fight the Beast. That should help! I don't know, I think that might have been... I mean, you might as well use it. It might... I guess 90 seconds cooldown. Maybe you can respawn and go for it.
Yeah, and Winstrike, I mean, we've been saying this kind of from the draft, they do have a really good single target, but again, the problem is for the Hustlers is that they, I think, can still probably take like a 4v4 fight here without any issues.
Oh, he still boars?
Oh, not bad.
That's incredible. That's really hard, by the way. Okay, Rubick.
But yeah, so the problem is it's like even if you get a good like early kill or a good pick onto anyone but the Monkey King, I would say, I think that Hustlers can still pretty easily take a 4v4 fight with any 4 of their heroes and Monkey King, or any 3 of their heroes and Monkey King, if that makes sense. Monkey King, I think they do lose a lot of their damage, but even then they should be able to pretty easily back away.
Nofear.
Yep, he's not going to be able to back away from anything.
Now the question is, can it turn into a tier 2 tower? Okay, it seems like Magical is actually going to kill Pantomem in the backside. The board might finish him off. Nice pit of mouse there. Astral Imprisonment will kill off
Terrorize hit.
With a Terrorize stopping this pit of this Dark Willow from being effective. Magical cannot get in the Uber in time, and Magical's been left behind. That's not great. In fact, Magical takes the wrong route and instead gets punished as he comes out.
Yeah, it looked like he thought that maybe he could squeeze in between the trees instead of just running right underneath the tier 2 tower. I think they still would have had that damage for him if he did run just straight back. But that was unfortunate there. Unfortunately, he gets body blocked in. The Uber leaves a little bit too early. And Phonic, not much he could do either because he was also terrorized. So a nice little early scrap for Winstrike. We'll get them 10 kills. Small net worth lead. Wraith King as well is making really good progress here towards the Radiance. He's out farming the Monkey King by 1,000 gold. Of course, some of that is going to be invested, quote unquote, in the Midas. But you only need to use it, I think, 11 times for your pay off the Midas recipe, as I recall. 210 gold is no, it's 210. 160. It's 210 times experience. No,
oh yeah, okay.
Not 200 times.
2.1.
Yes.
Ah, yeah, 160, so it's a bit more than...
Maybe it's 14
14,
then.
15,
It's 14. I always forget the numbers.
It's because they keep changing it, right? So you memorize the numbers for like one
Oh,
patch.
no.
and they change.
It's 11 to pay off the recipe itself, because I would argue you still get the benefit from the move speed, or from the attack speed from the Gloves of Haste.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, for Wraith King, I think that's a good.
Yep.
But yeah, Monkey King is close to his axe though now.
He is 400 gold.
Yeah. He's very close to it. Not a bad timing for all actually without Maelstrom. And you can now go for Maelstrom if you want to, or BKB. If you see the puck is not going for axe at all, which is the case here, sorry. You decide to go for BKB early, and then you punish.
Yep. I think for now, both teams, you know, Winstrike, they might look for a little bit of a scrap, but without their own tier 1 in the mid lane, it's a little bit hard to just kind of park yourself in the mid and look to fight. Beastmaster, he's good at pushing, but he doesn't fulfill the same role that, say, a Timbersaw does or a Tidehunter does, or where they just literally sit in the mid lane and don't move, right, for a long time to force an issue. He can't really do that. He's a little bit more like in or out. He has to commit to push, especially when he drops Necronomicon. But now that he's got Necro 3, he's able to get a lot more map control here away from the Hustlers. The game becomes a lot more annoying to play. You can see already 2 D-wards, 2 sentries D-warded as well.
Good use of the... No need for easy D-warding all over the map. Beastmaster provides so much map. Hawks and his Necronomicon. That's been about to turn out badly for the Eastman side. That's first slide. More nearby. Fighting's already out of mana. Who wants to man control them out? And to get hit with a terrorize. It's more lightless. Trying to avoid the ice blast, but will not successfully do so. In fact, lightless could be in trouble now as Beastmaster wants to kill him. Here comes the puck, and that's going to be the Monkey King dead. They're unable to kill anyone from Winstrike. The Macropie just deterring the enemy team from doing anything. They do catch the puck for now, as the Astro Imprisonment should set up for a second root on the Pit of Malice. They can have the Ice Path just in case. He phase shifts here in the middle of it, avoiding the Ice Path and the Pit of Malice, but still dying to the damage. Magical. Light Ball. They charge the Uber. Good Astro Imprisonment. Can they take him out in time? I don't. Oh, it's perfectly calculated.
Yep, you can.
Level 6, 6 seconds was perfect for this one. Really well played.
I might even look for more, as our Jakiro here is going to be able to land a really nice ice path on the chshrct. That's a level 3, although the Necronomicon is going to beat the crap out of Jakiro. He's dead, dropping the hammer, burning plenty of mana as well from the AA, but he's be able to just outrun him. And now, I think at the end of the day, it is, what, Monkey King dies, Jakiro dies, Rubick dies. It's a 3-4-2?
Yep.
I don't think they got either of the supports. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So 3 for 2 in favor of Winstrike. Unfortunately, they don't get the tower.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's that much favor of Winstrike because you took more valuable kills. They killed your carry, but you only killed... Sorry, they killed your carry and your supports, but you killed their all.
Yeah, and you took the first life off of Reincarnation, which was level 2.
It's not that bad.
Yeah. And there's going to be Radiance completed now as the Ice Blast, I think, scouting for Rose.
Not bad timing at all. He wasn't punished at all for the shield. Like, they could... I mean, now you're getting to the point where, like, Hustler is stronger, but Winstrike can still win these team fights relatively easily. We're seeing the power of the Pit of Malice, though, now as Puck walks in. Monkey King wants nothing to do. Radiance is ready. They could fight this Roshan. Puck scouted this out.
Yeah, they want to go for it. I think we've got Terrorize back up. We do. That one's Terrorize. 100-second cooldown here, but they're ready to go again. All the ultis with the Radiance. Bit of a sketchy time to be fighting.
BKB straight up. Okay, this is a good way to mitigate the slow build that you went for. You go for BKB right after, so Midas Radiance BKB, and it's like the old Wraith King. You're ready to fight as soon as you get. Usually, Wraith Kings these days rather go for like Blink or Heaven's Salver as the third item. They go for this build. They're playing quite slow, but in this game they know that they've already really risked as much as possible with it. I actually like how Winstrike is playing though. I think the trust that they had in the 4% one them, and now Wraith King is.
Yeah, their early game fight and team fight kind of AoE provided by the AA and Puck, and though the Willow is incredibly annoying here. The Hustlers is another little bit of dewarding. They did break smoke for that though. Not on the heroes, but they did break the smoke on the Necronomicon summon, so they're gonna know something's coming. Magical looking to fade as he's just chilling in the ice vortex. Hero fighting a pterodactyl.
True lore friendly.
Yeah, some dinosaur stuff right there.
Let's see. Yamich survives.
Oh, they got the coil.
That's pretty good. Terrorize as well. That's gonna snap both coils, but they go for Rabel. From behind, Lightless trying to kill him. We hear him have a roar. What do they catch? I think it was the Rubick, but not much damage done there. Okay, nobody's dead from Hustler. Their zone is really strong, honestly. Winstrike is having a hard time initiating. But Wraith King wasn't even there. Still free-firing bottom.
Yeah, he wasn't there, but if he shows up and fight now, I mean, what do you have right now for Winstrike? You don't have Dream Coil, you don't have Terrorize, you don't have Roar. I'm surprised Hustlers aren't going straight into the Roche pit for now. But maybe they just need to de-push their lanes. They did lose the mid-tier 1 tower here. Probably to the wagon and to the skeletons. Radiance as well, my goodness. Yeah, he is farming like crazy here. Already nearly has almost the full P, not quite, but he's over halfway there already.
Yeah, it seems like once he gets that item, they should just try to force a fight pretty hard, and Hustler won't be. They do struggle against those. Monkey King is good.
Yep. It's a bit of a rough start here. Didn't go back for the Maelstrom either, going for the BKB instead to try and make sure that they actually, you know, do something instead of just getting Dream Coiled and killed immediately after. But that's going to leave a little bit of a lack of damage here. Again, I don't really think that's too big of an issue because we've got plenty of damage on the Firestorm, plenty of damage Magical, plenty of damage even on Jakiro situationally.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's necessarily a big weakness, but see here if Winstrike can look to exploit the lack of damage that the Monkey King has, at least where he should be, I think. If he went for the mouth, that is.
Yeah, maybe the mistake was actually for King to go back at himself. Trusting the early. Over the one enemy. Allowing Wraith King a lot of time to farm, but more importantly, a time to out-farm you. He's already reaching level 15, which is usually the last point of okay, now you're more than ready to fight as he Hustler has anything against him because
I love this. I love how you have kills, deaths, assists. Do they have their ulti? I can mute them. Wraith King Arcana.
it's all equally as important.
Very important.
And now if you're actually playing in a real match, you also have the Overwatch system.
Oh, do you?
Flag people.
Oh.
Yesterday I got flagged 4 times.
Nice. Deserve it.
Yeah, I did actually. Dota made me miss much.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I didn't mean to pick him, of course. I even meant to ban him. But
Double damage.
Well, see you in the Puck is going to see this OD in hell as they're immediately going to be able to blow up Magical. No chance to react. Great smoke, and that is going to open up Roshan here for them.
Really, just look over the enemy triangle. Usually when you go to the enemy triangle, you have to press hard come in, right? Go for the smoke or something. Not the case here, dude. They just went up there with a puck and Magical's what you need to do.
They were smoked. They were smoked.
Yeah, but they have to, like, sorry, they didn't smoke up to the enemy triangle. They literally just illusory orbs in, murdered him with the free foil.
And that's how you have to do it. I mean, this staircase is super deadly, especially against a Jakiro, against a Monkey King, against a Pit Lord. You know, Pit of Malice covers this entire thing and set yourself up for all the AoE damage. But now, Puck is going to set himself up with the Aegis of Immortality. And next up will be that BKB. Phonic is just going to say hello.
Oh, nice. No, well, if he had not messed up the Firestorm placing, I would have... He could have... An Underlord...
Dire are scanning.
Sorry, you don't have the Dark Rift. For whatever reason, because you didn't really accomplish anything. Now Monkey King is really 5k difference between...
Radiant's top
The whole point is that Monkey King, at this point in the game, should be able to man fight the Wraith King one-on-one, kind of fine. Once he gets his BKB, not the case, obviously.
Even this Beastmaster going for a BKB here. That actually eliminates a lot of the control provided by the supports as well as the Underlord.
Yeah, I mean, now the biggest assets, which is your big team fight, is nullified by this BKB, and you have a really... And because Hustler's so far behind, they can't hide him.
Well, yeah, I actually can't believe how well this is going for Winstrike.
They're playing much better than Hustler. Hustler took a lot of bad fights when they weren't fighting. The build by lightless was a good idea if you kept winning, but you didn't. Right? You didn't really punish Wraith King farming. Like, Wraith King was really free farming for a solid 6 minutes.
Yep.
And even
longer, I would say.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, free farming as in nobody was even bothering him. And you have a team of, like, OD, Monkey King, Rubick, none of which wanted to gank him.
Yeah.
We didn't see any Dark Rifts offensively try to gank the Wraith King back.
Well, I mean, top lane went so swimmingly for Wraith King. I mean, they got what,
Yeah,
like
that also was...
3 kills on Funnick, 1 under the Rubick. He was literally out of the lane like 7 minutes in voluntarily because he's like, whatever, I'll farm faster now. I've got the skills.
This is what we said, it was like kind of 50-50. It is harder to execute, but Winstrike is executing perfectly on a really solid game.
They might be able to snipe lightless here as well.
I mean, lightless has died a lot of times as well, by the way.
Turning off the Radiance, not to scare him away, but he's gonna get scared away, anyway.
Terrorize might catch him. Fast. Does he have the shard? No.
Nope. He's just doing monkey things.
Shard that gives you.
No, I know. I'm just taking.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Goes to cut the lane. I mean, this is not a bad idea for lightless, right? At least you're avoiding these ganks, but this is the first time he avoids a gank, right? The past 3 times he just got caught out super easily. Of course, Reduce is farming speed a lot.
Yeah, now our Wraith King's almost got AC, so that's going to make it a lot easier to continue. A little minus armor on the structures in case you need more damage. The Wraith King is really scary, to be honest.
They rolled for reducing a bit. Oh, okay, they had to lift the shadow.
Oh, he's going to. All right.
That's the first step. It's not bad. But that's 40 seconds. Oh, Pop went in. Underlord, though, trying to fight this. He has the beginning, too. And he avoids the Monkey King stun. Rubick and Nofear down for the count. Who comes command is just pushing him away. But that circle is not perfectly placed, which means Winstrike is going to get away from this scot-free.
Yeah, more or less. They don't get the tower either, so I think Hustlers are going to be pretty happy with that hold. They do lose the Jakiro, they lose the Underlord, but the tower stays alive. 10-second BKB lives by Puck, 10-second lives, I believe, by our Wraith King as well.
I would still say that. Dream Coil will be back. I think they keep lost from comes command, which is not back up. Maybe probably more.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It was an unfortunate, well, either highly skilled ice path or an unfortunately timed ice path. Depends, I suppose, what side you're looking at this one from. But either way.
Where do you want to bias yourself for?
Yeah, Rebel just kind of going right into that one. Couldn't really avoid that in time. Monkey King did use his own BKB there as well. I didn't see that. So now, yeah, that is a big win for Winstrike. That's not going to be ready. At least for Dolan, not really what you're looking for. It's not bad, but you don't exactly lack any wave clear or anything like that. Still have our Aegis. BKB's now ready to go, as is Dream Coil, Reincarnation, and in another 7 seconds, Roar. So we should see them go again here. Have managed to now take all of the outer towers. Top of tier 2, mid tier 2, and bottom tier 2 finally fall into chshrct.
What they do now, without the outer towers, Hustler is great position. Choke to death. All you need to do now is control the triangle, put really offensive wards like we're seeing. And what do you do as Hustler? You need to leave your base by some miracle when it's play and try to take control of your triangle, because otherwise this game is over. Like your Monkey King is now 8k behind them. 8k. That's a range and a half already.
Yeah, that's basically 2 items. I can, like, 4K, 4.5K is like basically 1 item.
More or less,
yeah. You can kind of consider. So the net worth differences, that's when they really start adding up. Whenever you can get them in 4 to 4.5K. In the ultra late game, 5K is a whole item, whatever. Yeah.
Depends on what hero you're playing, etc. But for Wraith King, I think 4K is a fair, 4.5K is a fair item cost. But the point is, when you have 2 items ahead, even if you have a good core-to-core matchup, it doesn't really matter, because you're 2 items ahead. Like, you could beat a, I don't know, what's a really bad core, like a Lifestealer can beat a Terrorblade if he's 2 items.
Okay, he's going to be caught out. Unfortunately, he might be 2 items ahead, and his 2 items are a fluffy hat. Poor A, I mean, his team's doing so well, but you look at the A and you go, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, AA is never going to have a fun. When you pick AA, you accept that you're just going to Ice Blast Machine. You pick him for the ultimate, and in the early game, you have some use. And that's it.
Yep. I mean, and he was very useful in that top lane as well.
He was.
So.
I would say he was one of the reasons why Winstrike is doing so well right now. But
I agree.
Unfortunately, now he's not on
attack.
Oh, they know Monkey King is there, going terrorized. They're just going to run towards him, but they didn't have a problem with plan.
Yeah, they didn't really have a plan here. Now the team's coming, but they've caught the Dark Willow spell. Stolen is going to be now the Shadow Realm. 2 kills, both supports, so not a big deal, but this is how you kind of get back into the game here for the Hustlers. Now you have 40 seconds where you can pretty reliably move about your own side of the map here. Look to maybe D-Ward. Roche is going to be up in about 90 seconds, so that's not going to be too useful. But no, it's progress.
Not sure what that was, but a good bit of feeding will send the shock to the system.
Yeah, of course. You want to get... Here's the thing, is Winstrike are like, we're going to feed them 2 support kills so they leave the base.
Yeah, but they're not murdering.
No. It's okay, because that was just the first 2 support kills you see.
Sometimes
Sometimes
feed them more support kills.
Sometimes you need to feed them like a third, you know. It's like when you... It's like munching on ice cubes. Dentists say you shouldn't do it, but you know...
Who munches on ice cubes?
A lot of people who have anemia.
Help you?
I don't know.
Anemia?
Yeah, low iron in the blood.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Fun fact, yeah, L.
Nice. One of those really strange things I learned when bartending. Well, why do you want crushed ice? Okay, sure, here it is.
Also a dick.
Well, you know, what are you going to do? They're going to smoke up here on the side of Winstrike and head into River. It looks like in a great position here to break the smoke is Funnick, but he didn't want to walk up that hill, and I don't blame him because there is death up that hill. The Courier is going to actually scout 1. It's the Necro. Yeah, very good Dark Willow.
Oh, wow.
Now they're out of there, though.
I mean, that was an impressive drink call. If you had to hit that with Terra,
they're all stunned.
Because they all broke the coil. I mean, Rubick nearly died to that Dream Coil alone. If he hadn't been hit by Ice Blast, Rubick was dead.
Yeah, probably.
That was pretty good.
So very funny, though.
He did steal the Dream Coil, though. That's impressive, actually.
It is. It's a really good steal here.
That's a really, really good steal. They might be able to turn this around. I mean, they have a chance. They have a chance.
They have a chance. I mean, because, hey, what's Dream Coil but just a way better pitted mount? About it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and you already have a draft that synergizes really nicely around your control as they're looking to take control over the triangle, heading on there. But one is eating a stun. Ice Blast in, coming chshrct with the roar. He finds OD, who also has BKB. Might not get the chance to use it and doesn't. Couldn't act at all in that fight. Lightless is also locked down, and he's just going to be right-clicked to death. He shatters, and GG is dropped.
I mean, if there was a chance, the way you initiate that fight was the chance to win. I mean, you initiate it with what? 2 cores of BKB, neither of which activate them, just like passive BKB. Guys, it gives me stats, I swear. I don't know. And then it's clear to me that